Good afternoon. Let's talk about blockchain and healthcare. My name is Tony Zhang. I'm from eCare, a company based in San Francisco in the US. Today, I'd like to talk about how to build a decentralized health engagement system for global healthcare. Now, the problem we are about to solve is very big. It's about how to lower healthcare cost. As you know, healthcare cost globally is very big, and it's increasing year by year, as can be seen there compared to GDP. It's not going to be sustainable. The global healthcare cost is $7.5 trillion, a quarter of which, 1.9 trillion, is wasteful, can be avoided. 1.9 trillion is about the GDP of whole Africa of 2017. Two main factors in healthcare waste are caused by healthcare data and lack of incentives for patients to take care of their health. What does it mean, healthcare data problem? Healthcare data is fragmented, meaning that it's not continuous. So you have your healthcare data in the hospital, but when you go home, you don't have the data anymore. Or you have your data in this hospital, but if you go to the other hospital, you don't have the data. It's not portable. Just to give you an example, my father in China last year, one day he doesn't walk very steadily. He didn't think there's anything wrong until one of my friends, who is a doctor, visited him. And he said, no, it's very severe. You have to go to the hospital. It turned out that he was having a stroke. So he stayed in the hospital for 2 weeks, and fortunately, he recovered. But think about how many people didn't detect their early stroke or other problems and end up in the hospital in late stage. So that's the health data problem. And many people, after they get home, they don't have incentives to continue to do the rehabilitation exercises or take medications on time. We all know that because it's hard work. So it's all about health data and incentives. We're about to build a system called eCare to solve that problem. And here in orange is the eCare platform. As I just said, it solves two problems. One is health data, how to collect health data, and how to exchange health data. And the other is how to reward people, reward patients that they take care of themselves. And this platform is open. It's open source. And it's available to use for everybody to connect their own applications to and serve everybody in healthcare. We're talking about patients, family and friends, providers, doctors and nurses, device companies, drug companies, insurance companies, and developers. So it's an open platform based on blockchain that's serving the whole community. Eventually, we're going to achieve these three things. One is a decentralized health data exchange. The second is decentralized health incentives. And last is decentralized care access. And I'm going to talk about these three separately. And this is another view of our platform, eCare, in orange, which is based on the blockchain. It can be Ethereum, it can be other newer blockchain platform. And on this public chain, we have a couple of layers. One layer is protocols for governance and consensus mechanisms, for data upload and validation, for zero knowledge proof, for patient data, and for rewards. And upon this, we have a connection layer to allow third-party applications to be connected to. And I'll talk about the first D app that we're going to connect to, called BlueJ Engage, which is a patient rehabilitation platform. Now, you can ask me, why do you think your platform can grow or your ecosystem can grow? What's the driving forces? At least three. First is access of a shared market. Imagine if you have the first company already bring in patient base, user base, and the second company would benefit from the existing patient base and can share that market, can collaborate with the first company, and the third company, and so on. We can build such a shared market. And the second is access of zero-knowledge user data, meaning we encourage all the participants to share user data. However, these data are the patient data that are not traceable to the individuals of the patients because we protect patients' identity. And third is access of common token reward system. So every company can use the same reward system. This is like a game engine, right? We build a game engine and all the game companies can come and use the same reward system for their games. A little bit more detail of data handling. We collect patient data from two sources. One is patients as individual, especially when they are at home. And the second is patients in the clinics or hospitals, institution. So we encourage patients to upload data through a data logger on their cell phone. And we also work with hospitals and clinics to systematically exchange their data from the electronic medical record system. So once these data are on our platform, we de-identify the traceability of these data, so people don't know whose data they are. However, these data as a population data are very valuable. We allow third-party companies to mine these data and commercialize these data, basically, and eventually compensate the data contributors. So this is a very good way to ensure data ownership of patients and also data commercialization on behalf of the patients. Incentives. How do you incentivize a patient to really take medication and do their home exercises and eat the right food and so on? It's pretty hard, we all know. We created something called eCare Health Score. Each one of us have financial credits, right? We have credit card, we have a credit score. And as a driver, you may have a driver's record score. But very few of us have a health score as a good patient. So we invented this based on data, on how well each patient really take care of themselves. And so the system can reward the patients based on that score with tokens. Not only that, we also encourage the community to match, for example, family and friends, maybe employers, maybe insurance companies, to match the rewards so that the patients are really getting reward from a whole community. So that's very powerful. Lastly, because of the last two modules, we're going to drive more and more players or stakeholders to join us in this ecosystem. And when that happens, that will benefit the patients. That will improve care access to patients at home. So each patient will get access to multiple service providers, especially home medical equipment companies and therapists and doctors and so on. You can imagine the third-party companies or institutions can be many. Chronic disease management companies, or different therapists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, acupuncturists, chiropractors, traditional Chinese medicine doctors, and so on. And for home medical equipment companies, we can collect a lot of, they can benefit from this platform by collecting a lot of data, the IoT, the Internet of Things. And you can imagine health online stores may be interested. How about individuals, the doctors, therapists, and so on? Every doctor has some know-how to share, but right now, it's all in their brain. They don't have a mechanism to commercialize. So we encourage each individual healthcare providers to share their knowledge and maybe commercialize them through this platform. And they can sell their know-hows, sort of a micro-licensing of their knowledge. I'm very happy to be joined by a whole panel of experts, of developers, blockchain experts for this project, and a very strong advisory board advising us for the past 4 years, especially Dr. Jian Li, who is the president of International Society of Rehabilitation, and also the past president of Chinese Rehabilitation Society. Dr. Zhang is the director of orthopedic surgery in Stanford University. Dr. Ting is the world-renowned surgeon, operated for Yao Ming and Tiger Woods, among other athletes, and so on. So the last 2 minutes, let me talk about the first D-app that we're gonna connect to this platform. It's called BlueJ Engage. This is a platform or application that we have built for 4 years, multi-million-dollar project, right now in major institutions in the US and Australia. So what we do, or what this platform is doing, is to allow the doctors and physical therapists to engage patients at home after they're discharged or after surgery. For example, we filmed 4,000 videos of all kinds of home exercises for hundreds of diseases. So the doctors can really group these videos into a video prescription and send to patient's cell phone. And the patients just follow these exercises and do these exercises following the cell phone or TV. And on top of that, we have an AI technology to use the cell phone cameras to monitor patients and measure patients' movement. So if the doctor and patients doing a video session, video visit, the doctors actually can measure patients' movement. This is the first in the world, I believe, that's AI being applied in rehabilitation and monitor patients' progress remotely. So we achieved that. It's right now in beta in a couple of hospitals in the US. And this describes the different features of BlueJ Engage. And recently, we did a study in the state of Colorado, 42 clinics. We showed that this platform actually decreased the healthcare cost by 40 to 50%. So that's very significant. That shows that by technology, we can really lower healthcare cost. Imagine this is only one D-app. If we have tens or hundreds D-app on the same platform of e-care ecosystem, think about the implication, the impact on economy. These are the institutions that we are working with in the US and one in Australia. And we are talking about very soon, once we launch the blockchain ecosystem, they will be used by real patients and real doctors and solving problems for the real world. We are still private. We are about to do our investment, and we welcome investors and collaborators to work with us. And this is my contact, and I want to thank you for your time this afternoon. Thank you.